Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and that means a lot of dry, overcooked, and bland turkeys and turkey breasts will be hitting the Thanksgiving table. So today I'm gonna show you guys my super easy recipe for a delicious, juicy, flavor-packed turkey that's gonna come out perfect every single time. For our recipe today, we're going to be using a bone-in turkey breast. This is perfect if you're cooking for a smaller crowd or if you don't want to cook a whole turkey. Plus, it also saves you a lot on the cooking time because this will cook in a fraction of the time of a whole turkey. This is just a regular butterball turkey breast from the grocery store, so nothing fancy. This whole thing costs about 20 bucks. So you get a whole lot of meats for not a lot of money, and again, super easy to make and easy to cook. Let's start by taking this out of the packaging. Now usually these come frozen, so you want to put them in your fridge about a day or two before you cook them. Give them time to fully thaw out. That's the best way to defrost meat, is to just put it in your refrigerator. Let's take this guy out. Again, we are using the turkey breast, which is more economical. You still get a lot of the delicious turkey with it, and it cooks in a fraction of a time. Take this guy out, and I like using the bone-in one. You get a little bit more flavor out of it, plus it makes for a much cooler presentation once it's done. It also came with this gravy packet. I'm going to toss this out because we won't be needing this. We're going to make our own Cajun style honey butter to go with this turkey. I'm going to start by patting our turkey dry. It just makes it easier to work with. So get everything cleaned up, soak up all this turkey juice. So here's what our turkey breast looks like. So you get the full turkey breast. It has the skin on, plus it also has the bones here, the rib bones on the side, a little bit of the neck. So before I cook this, I'm going to trim this up just a little bit. We want this thing to lay nice and flat on the grill to help it cook more evenly. So using these poultry shears, you can also use a knife. We're just going to cut along the side right over here where the breast ends and these rib bones begin. We're just going to trim all this off, and you can keep this for a stock, or if you make your gravy at home, just make a couple cuts and see a lot of this will just kind of pop right out. You can see the bones. Take your knife and separate everything. I'm going to get all this gnarly stuff out of here. We don't need any of this. Again, this is perfect for making a stock or a gravy, so you can toss this in your freezer. See, so you get some of the neck bone, the rib bones, more of that skin, a little bit more meat. So don't throw this out. You can save it for later and still use it. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, just cut alongside the breast. There we go. Now that our turkey is all trimmed up, we're going to remove the skin. Now, the reason why I'm going to do that is because I'm going to be cooking this low and slow on the grill. And if you do that with the skin on, it has a tendency to just get super tough and chewy, rubbery, and just not flavorful. Plus, it will allow our seasoning to penetrate deep into the meat. So start by kind of just pulling the skin up here. Take your knife, and if you can't separate it by hand, just there you go, just use your knife to cut away from the meat, making sure not to cut into the meat. A lot of it should just pull off pretty easily. I'm gonna expose the meat, so when we season this guy up, it'll allow our seasoning to get all over the delicious turkey meat. Ooh, look at all that. Definitely don't need any of this. Jax is very interested in my turkey prep here today. He was over here as soon as I opened that packaging. I know, you'll get some later, okay? Yeah, you'll get a little bit too. Relax. That right there is looking pretty good. You've got all the meat exposed. You've got the breastbone on the bottom. I'm also not brining this turkey breast. We took it right out of the packaging. I'm going to season it, throw it on the grill. And the reason for that is we're going for an easy and quick recipe. Nothing that takes long. Brining is great if you're cooking a whole turkey, but if you follow my recipe, you really don't need to brine. It's still going to be super juicy and delicious. Next up, we can season our turkey breast. And for that, I'm going to be using 2 of my spices. So I've got the steak seasoning and my all-purpose rub. The steak seasoning has that nice buttery, herby, garlicky flavor, which should work well with the turkey breast. And then my all-purpose rub has more of that salt, pepper flavor, plus that beautiful color to make for a nice final presentation. We're going to start with the steak seasoning first, and you just want to go with a even coating on all sides so you can see all those herbs and spices right there. You don't want to go too heavy because we're going to layer on the other rub right after, so just make sure you get all sides. Flip it over, do the underside, pat that in. Now we'll take the all-purpose seasoning and then just repeat the process. There you go. I'm not using any binders or slathers. I really want the rub to just penetrate and get into the meat, so So it goes directly on our turkey breast. Now I'm gonna let this thing hang out for about 20 minutes at room temperature to allow that seasoning to start to get absorbed into the meat. So we'll leave this as is. We'll come back and get it on the grill in a couple minutes. For this cook, I'm using my large Big Green Egg, but you can make this recipe really on any cooker. The main thing to keep in mind is to cook at indirect heat so your turkey breast doesn't burn. And the temperature it's at is about 275 degrees. So let's get our turkey breast on. So this has been sitting for about 20 minutes. You can see it got nice and moist on the outside. That seasoning is starting to get absorbed into the meat. So let's put this guy right in the center. There we go. Close the lid and let it cook. And as far as the cooking method goes, I'm gonna leave it on the grill at that 275 until the turkey breast reaches an internal temperature of about 130 degrees. That's gonna take about an hour, hour and a half or so. Then I'm gonna remove it, wrap it in some aluminum foil with some butter, and finish it off. All right, our turkey breast hit 130 internal. Ooh, look at this. It is looking super nice on the outside. I did put a thermometer or temperature probe in the breast to keep an eye on those internal temperatures. This is the meter plus, by the way. So now for the second part of the cook, I'm gonna wrap the turkey breast in aluminum foil with some butter. I'm gonna put a couple pats of butter with the turkey breast meat side down, and then we'll put a couple more pats of butter right on top. So this will just create additional moisture, additional fat for the turkey to braise in. And now we're just gonna wrap this guy up nice and tight. Just like that. Turkey breast is on the grill, and I'm gonna leave it on at the 275 temperature and cook until it hits 160 internal. Then we'll pull it off, rest it, and it's going to be perfect. While the turkey's finishing off, I'm gonna prepare our Cajun style honey butter. I'm gonna use this as a dip for my turkey and also as a drizzle at the end. So this is also super versatile. You can use it on beef, on chicken, really anything. It's a nice kind of sweet, spicy sauce, and it's really delicious and also super easy to make. So we're gonna start with 1 stick of unsalted butter. I'm just gonna drop all these into this small saucepan. Next, we'll go in with 2 tablespoons of honey to provide our sweetness. So 1 and 2. And you can adjust these ratio as you're making, really get it down to your liking. 1 tablespoon of my steak seasoning to really bring out all the flavor. You can also use an Italian seasoning as a replacement rub. It also works really well with that. Next, we'll go with some crushed red pepper and some cayenne pepper for a little heat, depending how spicy you like it. So I'll go light on the cayenne. And then finally, about a tablespoon or so of minced garlic. I'm using the jarred stuff, but feel free to use whatever you might have on hand. I'm gonna bring this inside, put it on the stove over low heat, let that butter melt, get everything nicely incorporated, and our sauce will be ready to go. All right, turkey breast is done. I rested it inside for about 15 minutes. Let's take a look at how we did. Ooh, look at this, sitting in all this delicious butter, nice and steamy. Oh yeah, ooh, look at that. It's all that butter dripping down. You get the seasonings. All right, let me pull this temperature probe out. All right, let's take our turkey, put it on the cutting board, and we're just gonna cut right into it. Man, this thing is looking so nice. So I'm just gonna take a couple slices right off the side, and we'll take a look at how we did. Wow, look at that. That is glistening, juicy, moist. Look, no brine, just cooked to the correct internal temperature, and you have a delicious, perfectly cooked turkey breast, even on this edge piece. Look at that. Wow, let's just go for it. Wow. You get that mild smokiness, the herbs, spices, the garlic from the steak rub, the pepper, salt from the all-purpose rub, and it's just so tender. But we're not done yet. Let's bring out that Cajun honey butter and finish it off. All right, so here's our Cajun style honey butter. So again, just kind of simmer this over low heat. Everything gets melted, nicely incorporated. We're gonna put a little bit on the side. Look at that. So now this is the move right here. Get your turkey, going right for that dip. Ooh, look at that. Wow, let's go. Sweet, spicy, sticky from that honey. You get the smokiness and the delicious flavor of the turkey. Wow. This is so good. It just pairs so well with the turkey, brings out all the flavors. Not bland, not dry, super juicy, very tender, packed full of flavor. This is exactly how you should be doing your turkey breast for Thanksgiving. So that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to get all the notifications, and I'll see you guys next time. So good.